Hey there, and welcome back to the BoardGame Sherpa channel, where we take the fear out of learning new games and put the fun back in. Well, it's been a minute since the last time I made one of these videos. Sure, I've done a few interview videos, a PAX Unplugged walkthrough, and a photo compilation tribute, but not a video where I talk to you wonderful viewers directly. Honestly, it's been a rough month here in Sherpa land. First, Mrs. Sherpa and I moved to a new place, a huge undertaking. Packing up 20 boxes of board games and taking them out of circulation was a challenge, but then unpacking them was even harder. But we love our new space, so it was worth it, I hope. Secondly, if you've seen my photo compilation video, you know that in early November I lost a close friend, No Facebook Eric. He was mostly behind the scenes here, but he was a big part of this channel. In addition to being a close friend and one of my regular gaming crew, he was also my sounding board, my technical consultant, and cameraman on mobile shoots. I'll be feeling that loss for a while. So with these two major life events, it was kind of hard for me to get excited about board games. But new year, new beginnings, and I'm ready to get back to my Sherpa mission of helping make board games fun, stress-free, and accessible to newbies. And that brings you up to speed where I've been, and now for my new goal. Expanding my gaming circle, a 2020-25 challenge. I know what you're thinking. Sherpa, just head to your local game store and join a few games. For many, it might just be that simple. But despite this cool and confident Sherpa persona, I'm actually pretty shy. And when I've tried that tack in the past, unwelcoming groups almost turn me off board games forever. And that's a huge reason why I started this channel, to help others navigate the hobby with less fear and more fun. I've been lucky. Quite a few of my friends were already gamers, so I was able to have great game nights with them in the past. But since the pandemic, my gaming circle shrank. People moved away, they got busy, they had bad relationship breakups, or they just drifted off to different hobbies. By last year, my group was down to my original BoardGame Sherpa, Johnny Rocks, No Facebook Eric, Mrs. BoardGame Sherpa, and a few others. And now with Eric gone, and me moved further away from Johnny Rocks, my group is even smaller. Mrs. Sherpa has been my rock and played whatever game I was trying to learn. I know how lucky I am to have her, for a million reasons beyond board games. But her pity playing with me because nobody else was around isn't fair to her. I definitely appreciate her efforts, but it's time to expand my gaming circle. So, the challenge for me is to break out of my shyness and put myself out there. I think I maxed out turning all of my current friends into gamers, so I'll try turning strangers who play board games into gamer friends. I almost said stranger gamers. Hopefully this will inspire some of you to do the same, or at least find my struggles entertaining. I've already taken my first steps to expanding my circle. In strategizing, I started researching my local gaming scene and found a Facebook group called the Montclair Area Board Gamers Group. And it had almost 500 members and lots of recent activity. While lurking around the group, I saw that they mentioned this board game cafe nearby called the Player Agency. According to its website, it's free to hang out and play games, whether you bring your own or use their game library, and they encourage you to bring a friend or make a new friend. This sounds like the perfect place to start my challenge. So Mrs. Sherpa and I decided to drop in for lunch and see what it was all about. We arrived around 1:30 last Sunday afternoon, and there were a handful of people there, mostly moms with young kids playing kid board games. The cafe had a solid menu. I got chicken tenders and fries while Mrs. Sherpa had grilled cheese. I walked over to the game wall and they had a pretty decent selection of games. I grabbed Let's Go to Japan by AEG since Mrs. Sherpa and I had played that before and liked it, and we didn't want to learn something new on our first visit. We found an out-of-the-way quiet corner spot to check out the activities from afar. Our food came and it was delicious. We finished around 2 p.m. and started setting up the game. We didn't want to get grease on the game. As I was setting the game up, I noticed it was starting to get louder in the cafe. I looked around and there was a bunch more kids in there. I looked on their website and it turns out Sunday at 3 p.m. was their weekly Pokemon event. So we packed up and hightailed it out of there. Nothing against Pokemon or kids having fun, but it was about to get way too loud to focus on our game. The trip wasn't a failure though. The Player Agency really seemed like a great place to play games when there isn't an event going on. The staff was friendly, and when I shared my experience on Instagram, someone over there told us about a much quieter separate room. I will definitely go back, but I'll check that schedule first. On a side note, as someone who saw a lot of local board game stores close down in New Jersey in the last couple of years, the Player Agency is a welcome idea. I don't know any of the details of how they came into existence and how they got this sweet location in a building that seems to be run by the South Orange Recreation Department. It has a library and pickleball court feet away. Let me know if you'd like me to explore the Player Agency setup in a future video. It'll be a nice change from talking about board game stores going out of business. Last year I interviewed Robert Coelho, the Brazilian designer of Comic Hunters, and he told me stories of this board game cafe in São Paulo called Ludus Luderia that was a huge part of the emerging Brazilian board game market. Other Brazilian designers, Renato Samos and Jorge Adan, who did Cartographers and Ozop, a cyberpunk game, confirmed its legendary status. Even Tom Vassell of the Dice Tower said this place was amazing. Honestly, I got a little jealous of the gamers in São Paulo. With the decline of board gaming stores in Jersey, there really was no place other than the occasional convention where board gamers could hang out. But now with the play agency that I just found out about, there may already be a place for gamers within 30 minutes of my house. I'm excited, and hopefully this is a huge part of helping me accomplish my challenge of expanding my gaming circle. I'm hopeful that this challenge will be a success, but it's still early and have no idea where this journey is going to take me. And I hope you guys will come along for the ride. Let me know in the comments what you think of this challenge and if you've ever been to the player agency. I'd love to hear your experiences. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like and a subscribe. And check out my other videos. I'm sure you'll find something that you like. See you next episode.